family. Good morning. Question. What have you stuck right now? What have you stuck? Where are you at right now? Talk to me. Whether you watching this, well, obviously I just started, no one's here yet. But even if you're watching this later, communicate with me in the chat. Where you stuck? Where you stuck at? And why you stuck there? I realize sometimes it's easier to stay there than to get up and move forward. For a couple of reasons. One, because sometimes we just don't know where we're going. So that's a problem within itself, because we need to have some type of direction and where we're going, what we're trying to do. A life filled with purpose that will always kind of like keep us, because we are living a life of purpose for God. Faith without works is dead. So being connected to Christ and walking with Him, honestly, like not all the time we're gonna know where we're going, but the thing is, if we are connected with Him and we're walking with Him, it kind of don't matter where we're going. We just know He's taking us somewhere. So we need to be in communication and also be obedient to where He's trying to lead us. So where we're going, when we're following Him, there's still work that need to be done. There's still, like, let's bring it back to the foundation of it. Let's bring it back to the foundation of it. Where you are, where you've allowed yourself to get stuck for whatever the reason is, you have to make up in your mind to get up. You might be like, well, I'm not sure where I'm going. What is the project did you leave off? Like, what was the project you was doing before you stopped? Whatever distracted you, whatever caused you to quit, start procrastinating, you have to get up from where you are. Because sometimes we get stuck where we are, sometimes we get stuck in life and we remain there. So you have to make up in your mind, you have to make a decision to get up. Because once you get up, it's easier to get moving in a direction, because you're already active and in action, opposed to just sitting there and trying to convince yourself to get up and get moving. So you have to make the decision to get up and get moving. So when it comes down to getting active, good morning, you all. Whenever it comes down to getting active, like, because I'm trying to keep this as close to purpose as much as I can, because we can be doing all the different things going in the wrong direction. We can be doing all these different things, but it's not doing anything for the kingdom of God. So at that point, what are we doing it for? So each and every one of you, I believe you have an idea what you should be doing, what you should stop doing, the decisions you should be making pertaining to the direction you should be going in. Each and every one of us know what that is. Whether it was a project that you started, but you didn't finish. Whether it's making those calls, but you have not. Like, never mind the reasons. Not saying that it's not valid, but when we have the reasons and excuse for why we don't, that thing that need to be taken care of, it does not get done. It does not get handled. right? So if you know you're supposed to do it, odds are you have the ability to do it. We're not talking about what, we wait on this person to do this or we wait on that person to do that. No, we can't wait on someone else to do what we know God is calling us to do. I remember I used to always look for someone help to do this or I can do it, but man, let me call Kinfolk, see if he can design this for me. Let me call Kinfolk and see if he can do this for me. But no, whenever we're creating in the beginning, God not waiting on somebody else to do what he's calling us to do. We're not at that stage yet. We're trying to build the foundation, right? So what is it that God has given you instruction to do, but you like, man, I can't do it on my own. I beg to differ. To get started, you can. I've never built a website before years ago, but I had to teach myself how to do it. Did it take time? Was it frustrating? Was it discouraging? All these different things, yes. But it was something that I had to do for whatever it is, the things that I was doing. So know this. Just because you don't know how to do it, one of the reasons you don't know how to do it because you've never done it before. So because you've never done it before, then you have to learn it. But it all look foreign to you until you start doing it. Learning one piece of it at a time. Learning one thing at a time. And then learning the next. And then at some point you'll be able to build it all together. But if you're looking at the challenge, if you're looking at the fact that, I don't know how to do this, if you're looking at I don't know where to get started, then that is the recipe for paralysis. In other words, we're waiting on God, but he's waiting on us because we have not started or began to do whatever it is that he has instructed us to do. So I ask you, where are you stuck at? And why? Let's get to the bottom of it, because we're all supposed to be active doing something. We're all supposed to be active doing something. So what have you started that you kind of push to the side for now? And why? Now, if it's something that God told you to hold on that a bit, put that to the side. Let's focus on this. That's focus on that. But if you know that God has not told you to halt something, put something to the side, if you know that he have not, why have you put it to the side? In the same breath, are you still waiting on God to do something on your behalf? I'm not saying it's what it is, but God began to move on our behalf when we are active in obedience. So if you're waiting on God to do something on your behalf, but before that he gave you instructions, well, if you haven't done the instructions, not saying as soon as you do it, boom, that thing is going to be, but what if it is? How long you been procrastinating on it? How long has it been since you've been working on that and you know you should have been done by now? Well, what if what he's been trying to do on your behalf has everything to do, or is going to come through obedience? Well, he probably would have did it a long time ago. but he have not, because you have not been obedient. So the three of you, where are you stuck at? And why? How was my day? Not bad. Not bad at all. Thank you for asking. How about yours? So where are you stuck in life and why? Or where are you stuck in that project and why? Where are you stuck? So again, you have to make the decision to make the decision to get up. Even if you don't, after that, it's easier to take a step any direction when you already on your feet and ready to get active, opposed to sitting down and trying to convince and motivate yourself and persuade yourself to do something. So you have to make the decision to get up and get active. Some things we have to revisit, because like we get started on something and then we get knee deep into it. Distractions begin to take place around us, and sometimes we forget where we are, or we lose focus, and it's like, okay, we might need to back up and see, we might need to back up and revisit like from the beginning and walk through the work that we've done and asking God to give us the vision again, help us to see it clearer. Like bring back to memory where you once was and what you're supposed to be doing next. You feel me? Because when it comes down to the foundation, like we have to continue to build on that foundation. And sometimes it's in every angle. But if it's in every angle, obviously we have to start at one part of the foundation. So before we can build straight up, we have to lay across. You know what I mean? So we have to know what we're building. So what are you trying to build? What is that vision that God has given you? Or what do you feel like God is trying to lead you to build? I got it. Oh, you have school and you're really tired? I feel you. For one who don't get much rest, I truly understand. What does your routine look like? Because a routine is key. Having an organized routine is key. Because when you have an organized routine, then you're able to, within your routine, you're able to identify gaps and create a window of opportunity to either do extra work, to do catch-up work, or catch-up rest, even if it's a power nap. But if we don't have an organized routine, we're just going with the flow as the day flow by. But if we have an organized routine that looks like a timeline, then we're able to know, like, okay, cool, like I have class at this time, and then I have to go to speak to my professor. I have to, go study or whatever. Then, like, I'm done for class for the morning, and then I have to go back to class about 3 or 4, right? But I got a few errands I need to run in between time. right? So you know what those errands are. You know what time. You know how long it's going to take you to execute on those errands, and you know when you know that you're able to fit those errands in, whether it's boom 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 or you like, well, I can only do 2 of the 3 at this time, and then later that's when I have to do the other time. Well, can we move these 2 times closer to the third errand we have to run, and then we have that hour and a half in or however long to get a quick nap in. So you know when you know how to organize your routine, then or when you have an organized routine, then you'll know where you have a window of opportunity to get extra rest, extra work in, or catch up work, if that makes sense. So all of this, like, I guess we'll kind of like build on what we're already talking about. We must talk about awareness. We must talk about awareness, because when we are aware, we can either, when we are aware of what needs to be done, then it helps us stay on track and be effective in the decision that we have to make and getting everything done. And sometimes, because we are aware, it's not that easy, but because we're aware, we can make needed and necessary adjustments that we need to make that's going to help us to be more efficient and effective. You feel me? So I still need to know where you stuck at in life. Like, let's get to the bottom of it, because you're not, something's not going to just fall from the sky and then boom, you're unstuck. Like, where was you going? Like, what was the next goal that you were after before you got stuck? Or before you got distracted and you lost focus in sight of what you were doing? What was that goal? What was you working towards? What was you trying to accomplish? If you know what you were trying to accomplish, then it's easy to identify the direction that you were going in, or the path that you was on that's going to lead you to achieving that goal. So whenever, like, if you're trying to get unstuck, a few questions you have to ask: where was I going? What was I working towards accomplishing? Where were you in the process of accomplishing that? So we can get back focused on doing that. Because if you're trying to get to step 5 and you're only at step 2, well, we can't bypass step 3 to get to 4 and 5. So if you was at step 2, like, what is step 3 that you needed to accomplish that's going to help you get to step 4 and step 5 where you achieve that goal? So just sit back and look at whatever it is that you had written down. I hope you had it written down. If not, cool. So write it down, write the vision to make it plain. But, like, what is the last thing that you accomplished, or what is the last thing that you was doing? Because if you can remember the last thing that you were doing, or that you was actively working at or working on, then it should bring you back memory of what exactly you was working towards, or where you at in the process, and what it is that you need to start doing, continuing to do, or stop doing, because something is distracting you. So you also have to know what's distracting you, so you can eliminate it, so you can pull back from it, so you can readjust and lean back into it. But again, you gotta get up from that stuck in that paralysis state, because whatever mission you're on, you're not gonna accomplish it doing nothing or hoping that it changes. It needs your participation. And if you're not going to participate, you can't expect anything to come up. Especially, you can't expect God to do whatever it is He's trying to do to, through, and for you. Because faith without works is dead. You got it? So as I get ready to conclude this live, know what you're working towards, know what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing so you can continue making progress to what you're working towards. Stay focused. You might be in a process of where it's stretching you, where you having to do more research, where you having to try this and try that, where you may have to erase all of that and start back over. Wherever you are in the process, come to a point where, because you know you need to make a decision, come to a point where, okay, it's time to make a decision. Make a sound decision. Make the right decision. But stop prolonging it. And get back active working at it. Because you're wasting time. Don't rush it. But get active. Don't force it. But be effective. And as I always say, believe in yourself. God has given all. Believe in yourself. God has given you all that you need. It is inside of you. Get active. Get about that action. You have all that it takes. You got this. And much love. If you're watching this later, again, let me know where you stuck. Let me know where you are stuck in life. And perhaps I can be of some assistance to you. But I can't if you don't communicate. At some point along the journey, everybody needs someone. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. But again, if you're watching this later, just comment on the live. I'll receive the notification. Let me know where you're struggling at. Let me know where you're stuck. Talk to me. Let's figure this thing out. But in the meantime, get active. You got this. Much love.